Welcome to another episode of Roll Call, TTSH Nursing's very own podcast, brought to you by TTSH Nursing Organisation Development, or TTSH Nursing OD for short. I'm Kim, and I'll be your host once again for today's episode, and we are so excited, I am so excited, to introduce today's guest to all of you. She's none other than the Joan Poh, TTSH's very own Olympian. Ta-da! So Joan Poh works as a senior staff nurse in Tan Tock Seng Hospital's renal unit and first debuted as a national rower at the 2015 Singapore SEA Games. Responding to the government's call for healthcare workers all hands on deck during the COVID-19 pandemic, Joan returned to the front lines in April 2020, when actually that was around the period that I joined nursing also, for almost a year while continuing to train towards the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympic qualification. She resumed full-time training in March the year after, and 2 months later, at the last opportunity, qualified for the Tokyo Games. So even though Joan's Olympic debut saw her finish 28 out of 32 athletes, it's her incredible journey to Tokyo's starting line that captivated everyone, including me. Unwaveringly committed to her Olympic aspirations, she masterfully balanced her role as a staff nurse, even going to the lengths of taking multiple non-paid leaves to train and compete internationally. Would you join me in welcoming Joan in today's episode of Roll Call? Yay! She's so paiseh. I must embrace it, you know?
No, it's like I have to give you your time. You're amazing.
Thank you. Okay, so the question that everyone wants to know, which came first, nursing or rowing? Tell us more about both paths and how they intertwine along the way.
3 questions in a shot.
Sorry.
No problem. I mean, if you really look at the chronological timeline, it was definitely like nursing that came first, and rowing was not actually my first sport. I remember when I first got enrolled into nursing in Nanyang Polytechnic, it was a very silly decision actually. Like, it was a rebellion, 16-year-old.
Oh!
Like, coming out of secondary school, like, I'm done with wearing uniform. So no JC's out. I hate math. So like, no business, no IT, no like engineering. And then, you're just about, like, it came down to a few choices, right? Yeah. Sciences was something I was always more interested in. But then, ironically, like, and I think you will agree with me, the math that we do now is simple.
Yeah.
But life and death. Right. Like, it can be as simple as, how much dosage of medications do we give, and how much, like, for myself in my work area in doing dialysis, how much water do we remove from the patient. Simple math, but quick math. Well, so then after that, I did try doing a sport, and I really didn't start doing any sport until the age of 17, which is nursing first year. Yeah, you went to JC, right?
But I went poly also.
Oh, right. So 17 years old then. And then at the time I was thinking to myself, if I wanted to do a sport, I needed to do a sport that no one had a lot of head start in. Have we spoke about this before? Because, in sports, a lot of people start when they are really young.
Yeah.
And then if I started doing a sport like swimming or badminton or, a sport that people start really early, then I will have a lot of disadvantage. So that I was thinking really hard. Then Dragon Boat was kind of a sport that no one actually have done until maybe they got into tertiary education.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was how I started doing sports. And then from Dragon Boat, I went on to sailing before I found myself in rowing in 2015, as you mentioned. I mean, I started in 2014 and then completed in 2015. After poly, I graduated.
Nice. I hope so. I sure hope so.
2011.
Okay.
I graduated, and that was my first year working with Tan Tock Seng Hospital. And I mean, I did a lot of my attachment. And in our time, I think maybe it's still the same now, like where we get allocated to different hospital based on where we leave our home address. Yeah. So I stay in Hougang. So in Hougang, the closest hospital at that time was Tan Tock Seng Hospital. I mean, Sengkang was not around at that time, so I was posted to Tan Tock Seng a lot, and I only practically knew Tan Tock Seng Hospital my whole nursing education, and then I passed out in surgical high dependency unit in 6C here, and then before I finally took a leave to do my degree with NUS in 20 2012. So I worked a year and a half before I started my degree education. And then finally, when I graduated with NUS, I was given a few options, and I eventually picked and decided to go to Reader Unit, where I could do away with night shifts because of the training. I mean, Reader Unit is a very good place. Like a lot of people, when I first started, they thought that they gave me an idea that it was a retirement, like a sunset area. I don't know. I always thought that I was going to be a nurse who is like very adrenaline rush, like on the ball, like must go ICU, must go A&E. But when I went to Reader Unit, I found a different kind of love for chronic disease management, the kind of patient and nurse relationship where you journey with them from their like diagnosis all the way to the end of life, or until like in renal cases like transplant. So there's just two different things, but different kind of love.
So before finding out about your journey, right, actually I didn't realize that you were balancing both nursing and rowing at the same time, and had this misconception that, you know, you had like protected time to do rowing, or like, you know, you take leave. Like I think you were sharing with me that you're currently on MPL.
No pay leave.
Non-paid leave to focus on rowing. So I had this misconception that you had this like you already had this arrangement from the start. Which
no, I think that's true. Okay, it's called a misconception for a reason.
Yes.
You know, it didn't start off like that. My journey to get, I don't know what you call it, protected time, but like to lead up to getting the support that I get from the hospital was not easy. I had full year and a half where I was like just really training and doing nursing like every of my colleague. So how it would look like is if I was doing, so I told you I have no night shift, but I still have my morning and afternoon shift. So if I am on morning shift, then I would be working, and then I'll be training in the afternoon. And then if I'm working afternoon shift, I'll be training before I come to work. And then on my day off, and I'll just be doing like makeup sessions, because, you know, people train 2 to 3 times a day to get to that level, and one time a day. Sometimes I try to make it one longer session, so it's like one long, one short session to kind of make it work. So how it will look like is I was wake up really early, like 5:30, to get to the training, finish the training, and then I need time to get food and rest, and I would actually camp at this level 4 staff area. You know, put up
the main block.
Main block, like where
the gym is,
childcare like is. So the childcare center is. So I would like put together some chairs, you know, get some blankets or like my own jacket.
Sit there.
Yeah. No, I mean those were the days, man. Like or because after work, right? Sometimes you may not be physically okay, or some of us may be physically like tired, but like sometimes it's also the brain that's like fried. Or especially, you know, some days the shift doesn't go as planned, or it's a bit more hectic. It's the brain that really after you just feel like
gonna
like zombified. And then most people get to go home, but I was supposed to go to the gym. So what I would do is like, you know, go to the tea room, take a small like nap, shut eyes, like 30 minutes, you know, before I hit to like training, and then or sometimes you know, I try to like squeeze in a little nap when during travel to training. And I did this like on and on, you know, like for a year and a half. Like, I mean, that was when after a year and a half, when Dr. Eugene kind of like picked up on my story. That Dr. Eugene is our ex-CEO. So like at that time, I got an opportunity to have a coffee with him in his office. And then eventually, you know, like had a few exchanges with him and got the support that I currently have. I mean, that was then. Like, I remember very clearly when he came on board to say, you know, to ask, you know, I hear about your story. I know what you've been doing. How can we support you? You know, the Asian in me was just like, 不要啦, no, don't worry lah. Don't need that. It's okay. I'm okay. Like, don't need. It's like, and I was very afraid, like, you know, what comes with this support? Like, what is he expecting of me? You know, what if I take on his support and I don't win? And at that time, I wasn't not an Olympian. I didn't know how far I would have gone. But he looking back right now, I just felt like, you know, he was such a leader with so like far-sighted. And I felt very thankful, you know, that he did these things. I mean, there are leaders who could turn a blind eye or like turn your head away from this, but he didn't. And then after him, it was chief nurse who basically like continued this support that I get so that I can, you know, as you said, like the protected time that I do have now. I mean, protected time. It's no pay leave law. Like, how do you? Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever come to was there ever a point where you had to decide, like, I think especially during that 1.5 years, like nursing or rowing?
During the period when I was juggling both, I think I was trying very hard to just make it work.
Both.
I think the context also is I started as a student athlete. You know, I was doing school and training a lot. And I think that kind of gave me that resilience to kind of just push through boundaries and like push beyond boundaries and push past obstacles, come what may. I really clearly remember there was a friend who was a teammate that kind of like laugh along and then mock it, you know, like oh, you know, his brother was a nurse.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I don't know how you're gonna like manage nursing and rowing, you know, because on knowing that I have just graduated.
Yeah.
I was dumbfounded. I didn't reply. I no, I also don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think because I had wanted to do this, so I just keep like trying to find a way, you know. If there was no coach, I was gonna look for a coach. Or if there was you know, I still get 7 and 8 hours of sleep even when I was doing that. But then it mean that I have very routine like life. Yeah. So like I get home, you know, I try to like do a few things very quickly and then get to bed and people would think like it's doing away with social life.
Yeah.
Or call it a sacrifice. I think it's a choice that I made. Right?
Or respect.
Yeah.
Respect, man. I feel like I can really relate because you know, now like we're doing this podcast and a lot of like the social media stuff and everything, right? Originally from the start, I think another misconception that a lot of people have is that, you know, like, oh, now I get paid higher, or like, oh, you know, like you've had this protected time from the start also. But actually at the start, even from student times, a lot of these things that I would do is really like my own passion. Because I used to do comms last time for my diploma before my degree in nursing. So like I knew I had this very strong passion, and I knew that I somehow wanted to use this to contribute to the organization. But obviously at the start, you know, like it's very focused on clinical. Your clinical and building that foundation is very important. Like, so the first 1-2 years, like I understood the importance of being rooted in clinicals. So a lot of these like other fun stuff that I was doing on the side was a lot like on my own time. Like after morning shift, like I go home, go on my laptop and like edit stuff. Or like on my off days also, I'll just like stay at home and like, you know, like edit videos and edit posters and everything. So I definitely not as intense as yours.
No, my turn to respect.
Definitely not as intense as yours, but like I feel like I can relate to like really the hustle that especially at the start. Then now just reaching a point where we're a bit more settled.
I think you need an episode for yourself.
No.
It's I think stories like yours as well that like, you know, because today you're interviewing me and I mean we're recording this podcast for what I'm doing, but actually I think a lot of like unsung like people like yourself are doing nothing less. It really like, I mean, if we are the kind who decide that, you know, we're just gonna work and go home or like do no more, then we are not on the same playing field. People like you know, you have your passion, you have the skill, you have the desire, and you're willing to work on it. And I think you deserve it, like the protected time. Like, like it's I guess also a few years of, you know, doing this as like a CCA on your own time, staying back and, you know, burning like late night oil to kind of get to where you are today. And I think it's amazing. Like, I think a lot of us, I think to some degree, I can also say that, you know, like you're ahead of us. A lot of us. I mean, now we're talking about myself in my passion for my sport in rowing and yours in comms. But it could be anyone who is listening, you know, their passion in IT or their passion in research. Like, of course, it would be like ideal, right? If we all start with protected time. But the hospital just can't give it to everybody. But like, if you press on and if you show, you know, you shine through and who knows, you may get picked up, and you never know what could come out from your hard work now. It took me a year and a half before I got that coffee with Dr. Eugene, and I don't know how many years you had to you know, juggle before you get to where you are seated here with with myself today. So I came back from the Olympics feeling like I was a failure. 28 out of 32.
Dude, but I remember, right, okay, so before that time, because it was 2020, so a lot, 2020, 2021, that period, right, so a lot of times we were also kind of just stuck at home. So I remember watching you on TV, and then I remember when I found out you were a nurse also, I was like, there's someone you're a nurse at Tan Tock Seng also. I was like, oh my gosh, that's my hospital. And really, I think that really motivated me, because I was just like, wow, like this Zeze, like this Zeze is so cool, and then like, I could meet her at work, you know, like that's so cool. And I remember I DM'd you. But okay, no way, you replied me. Yeah, you replied me. But I remember I DM'd you at that point in time. Now I was just like, wow, I really respect, you know. Then you were like, yeah, maybe see you around at work or something. Now I was just like, oh my gosh, she's so cool.
I didn't have a lot of words, you know, when people just congratulate me, I was like okay, thanks. Yeah, but talking about leader, like our Prime Minister, Lee Hsien Loong, who is kind of handing over. Yeah, no, I remember I was invited to the National Day rally that year, 2021. I felt deeply honored, and you know, I was sitting amongst ex-politicians and ministers, and there was this moment when he gave a little bit of intro about me and what I did, and you know, because between him and I there was this camera the whole time, so he was there and I was here, then I couldn't really see him, so the whole time I was just like looking at the screen. And then at some point, right, when he spoke about me, then suddenly I just managed to find an angle between him and I and the camera, and then we were like, our eyes locked. Then this, when I look back at this moment, right, you know, this song by Fish Leong called 勇气, about courage. Have you heard this before?
Oh, sorry.
You English on?
Okay, after this,
Well, so like I think it's about love lah, but I mean I related to it so much. Like I think it was one of his lines were about how, you know, we all need courage, like to overcome adversity and difficult patches, and sometimes even judgment or inaccurate depiction of ourselves. And then like all we need is like, you know, courage to overcome. And then I cannot sing on the podcast, right? No, right. This
just do it, ma. It would be great for the social media.
It's quite funny, cause you know, like it says 我们都需要勇气来面对流言蜚语. This is the part where it's like, it's just
what does that mean?
Courage, and you know how we need like courage to overcome like adversity. And then like, you know, the part like 只要你一个眼神肯定. Then you know, like the moment where he locked eye with me, I felt 肯定 already, you know. Then
wait, like, 一个 what?
眼神,
like one eye,
like a look.
Oh, like, and then you know.
And then so then I felt like 我做的都有意义, you know, like
that was mixing like the purpose.
He validated like okay, so when in that moment, when I look back, it just felt like, oh my god, like my journey is not just about winning, and it could be looked at in so many different lenses and different light. I mean, obviously at the time I wasn't looking at it like that. I told you, I came back feeling so much like a failure. Like, but then, you know, now with this incident, this encounter, this validation, I started to see a lot more on how like my value is not just in my achievement, but also like my contribution. I think that was something. I think, you know, like I don't really have a very big like a figure like to look up to communicate like tirelessly with, but it's all this that really adds up for me, you know, that really helped me and shaped me to become who I am today. And it never is gonna be like something that we can do by ourselves.
During that period of time especially, how do you take care, or even now still, how do you take care of yourself to make sure that you don't burn out or didn't burn out?
I think a very commonly cited quote that I shared at the time was, you know, when I'm a nurse, like I'm 100% a nurse, and when I'm a rower, I'm 100% a rower. I think what I was trying to share at that time was, I don't look at my journey as just like, wow, you know, this like super long thing, or like my day as this like super long day, you know, kind of like to like wake up early, work and train and work again, kind of stuff. But like I kind of broke it down to each like small part and segment, and then within each part, like I break it down even further. So like when I'm a nurse, you know, 100% if I'm doing priming, like, you know, setting up the machine, I just want to make sure that I'm 100% there doing just exactly that, not worrying about the
Later my training.
or like the patient that I need to, you know, like, or the medication I need to serve, blah, blah, blah. Like just like 100% being present and just doing that one task. Again, rowing, like our training can be up to 20 kilometers long. That's like 2 hours plus non-stop of like rowing.
I run 2 km, I'm tired already.
Yeah, but then everything begins with the first step, right? Then it's like just the first step, next step, first step, next step. And then like for rowing, it's the same. It's like one stroke, next stroke, one stroke, next stroke. And then I don't worry about, you know, how much longer there is to go in the training. You just keep trying to like execute that one stroke at a time. And so that's basically it. Like I just try to be mindful, slow it down, break it down. And, you know, look for the smallest things in life to be joyful about. The first thing that does it for me most of the days are how I make my coffee. You know, because I don't have like like it's not a button, you know, machine, because like I make my own and I do my own milk and stuff. So then I don't always get it right. But sometimes when you get it right, then you just like, yes! This is a great coffee. Try. Yeah, you know?
Joanne brought bananas also just now. Like, I'm not going to show it in the camera, but like she was very excited. The moment she came through the doors just now, right? She was just like, I got bananas for my home and later can let everybody try. It's the small things in life, guys.
It's the banana is very special. It's like not long kind. It's like fat and round and smells really nice. Then like very mushy inside. Then very chewy. It's grown at where I roll. Like it's at my own backyard, not my house. I stay in like HDB, but this is like where I roll. So it's like when you roll, then you see the banana tree. Then you every day go look at, hey, the banana is growing well. And then it's like it's simple things in life, right? Like when you shower, you want to feel your feet wet on the ground. Okay, you get it?
No, okay. For me, it's more of like I have this special soap. So sometimes, right, like that smells very nice. So on days that I'm super shy, I'll be like, I'm just looking forward to taking like my nice shower with my nice soap and smell nice. That's what.
No, I can completely relate to it. Like sometimes it's the soap. Sometimes it's just being present. A lot of time when we shower, you just stand there and then like go through the action and then like you come out, then you're just like, you know, thinking about other things. You're not like really present in the shower.
Okay.
How the water run down. How the feet feel. Oh, how the soap smell.
Okay.
No, nothing explicit. Okay, just keeping it here. Like
real.
Yeah.
How the coffee tastes. How the smell of the coffee. How, you know, this is my favorite cup that I always like to make coffee in at home. So I just like, you know, like how I'm going to pour coffee.
It's your own cup.
This is my own cup.
Yes. Nice. Okay. I mean, as opposed to if you're like just waiting for that promotion. And then be happy, or like waiting for that pay rise, or things that can happen only once so often, like once a year, once half a year, kind of stuff. Then the joy is like taken out of the everyday. So I think that does it for me most of the time. Just being present, 100%, and then we take it one step at a time.
Nice. So since we talk about the present, what does the future look like for you? Thank you for that nice segue.
Future. Like I'm gonna be very frank and honest, okay? This is the Debunking nursing podcast. I'm a Debunking nurse, so I try to be like very, you know, like give you all the juicy. I don't really know what I need to do with nursing now. But I mean, I'm clearer with what I need to do with rowing. More than I do with nursing, only because rowing is still very underdeveloped here in Singapore, and there's still so much work to be done. We are like a startup, you know, like there's so many things to be done. But for Debunking, you know, we are going to be in our 180th year this year. You know, by the time I'm done with this period of no pay leave coming back, the hospital would have more of them move forward. Like I want to be wherever the hospital needs me. I'm not afraid of like changing work areas. So I think there is that for nursing side of me, and if for rowing, like, I think I did the 2015 SEA Games, which was hosted right here in Singapore, and the next one would be in Singapore. The next one that will be in Singapore is in 2029.
Oh,
That's like 5 years from now.
yeah.
I think it would be like kind of like a circle come full for me. If I could, end off with the SEA Games here in Singapore. I don't know what capacity though.
Okay.
Like, would I still be rowing? Would I be coaching? Would I be umpiring? Or, if you guys would send me your daughters, teenage daughters, or, sons or nieces or nephews, like, to pick up the sport and, like, or yourself, if you're interested to kind of like do the sport at various level, like, I'm more than happy to see how we can work things out and do it together, as a family, as a community. Yeah. And yeah. I'm in communication with a lot of the leaders here in Tan Tock Seng nursing. I've been wanting to, I've always been wanting to know how else I can contribute. Like doing this podcast, I would have never said no. I would have never. You Kimmy, you're like a really nice person to work with as well.
Thank you. We met for the first time. I DM'd her on Instagram. And I was just like, would you want to be featured on my podcast?
I would never say no to that.
Yeah, then she was just like, of course. And I was like, oh, of course. Then we met at Coffee Bean.
Yes.
And she bought me a drink. Did you buy me a drink? You bought me a drink, right?
I don't know, just keep it as yes.
Yeah, she bought me a drink. Then I was just like, excuse me, like, you're my guest. And then, like, I think, I don't know whether you guys can tell, but we can vibe very well. So any advice for nurses out there who feel like work gets in the way of pursuing their dreams?
Be like you.
Or like you. My stomach's
I don't know what you guys got me.
I was hungry. Huh?
No, yes, be like her, be like us. I think that like in whichever like areas that you're interested in, or like there may be naysayers, there may be people who have not done it before and think that it's not possible, but just try. And don't don't just try for a day or a week, like try for long enough, and you never know what could happen. Like you could be able to come up with something nobody thought it was possible. Like, nobody thought I could juggle nursing and rowing. Yeah. Nobody thought you could do your comm stuff together with nursing. Not everything is about winning, like money or like competition. It's sometimes just like interest, growth and journey. Yeah. Is that advice a bit too long?
No, it's good. Like, for example, right? So my entire social media team, majority of the times where we film and everything is actually after our shifts. I think a lot of people have this misconception that all of us have this protected time, like one whole day to film videos and everything. But majority of the time it's either on our off days or like after morning shift. Then we stay back till like 6-7 o'clock. We're just filming and everything. But the company is so fun because we all have this common goal and this common hobby that we don't mind. It's just fun. And then you form this community of people who like really understand one another and can really support one another. Well, I think that's a beautiful thing, even though it might seem like, it's, like people on the outside, you must be so shack, you all stay back and everything. But time flies by, then it's just like friends having fun. I want to encourage people to just be creative with the way that you think. Your passions, everything. Like I never imagined when I first started nursing that I'll be doing a podcast. Like that's so random, right? So. And a lot of it was like at the start, I was just like, okay, like I'm just going to go clinical track, go management. Thank you, that's all. I never thought that I'll be able to have the opportunities to do stuff like that. But I think because I really persevered and really pushed on to try to figure out, like what I said earlier, like how to harmonize everything, that it really paid off. So just be creative in the way that you think. Your hobbies and passions and skills, the skill sets that you might have, might be something that's totally unrelated to nursing, especially clinical nursing. But you really don't know how you can somehow bring it into the organization and contribute to the organization unless you really are creative about it. Yeah. So nursing is really growing and evolving. And I think a lot of nurses now, we are no longer just 100% stuck at the bedside. So like what I said, just be creative, think out of the box. And sometimes you really work hard. Like
for a long period of time.
Yes. Get enough rest, of course, if you need to. Pace yourself well.
Drink your coffee.
Drink your coffee. Coffee very important. But if you feel like you can push yourself, I really want to encourage you to do that if you have the capacity to do so. So I guess that concludes this episode of Roll Call. Remember, you can also check out our episodes of Spotify at Nurses of TTSH. Do give our channel a follow and hit the bell to get notifications whenever a new episode is posted as well. And give this video some love by clicking the like button or even dropping us a comment below. If you like to get more updates and also contribute to our future podcast episodes, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Nurses of TTSH. If you also have any topic suggestions, anyone you would like us to feature, or if you even like to join the team here, writing episodes with me, feel free to draw. Thinking of those bananas. Feel free to draw us a DM as well. So we'll catch you in the next roll call. Have a great shift, everybody. Bye.
Bye. 飘 free 嘞，飘什么？飘你自己啊！
Okay, thank you very much.